Hello, welcome to the SORT Raiders Don't Haze training. My name is Courtney Laukitis. I am the program manager to student organizations in the Office for Student Involvement and Leadership. Raiders Don't Haze is one of the SORT requirements that each president and treasurer of every student organization must complete in order to obtain the active status. One thing I want to note about this training is that this is a SORT specific training. So we ask our presidents and treasurers to complete a hazing training on top of any additional university requirements that the Ohio State law may require. So just to note that there is a difference between what you may have already completed or need to complete for the university and for the state law versus this being a requirement within the Office for Student Involvement and Leadership and for the SORT program. Some housekeeping items to go over. You will need to keep your engage form nearby because you will be completing a form with a series of questions of the information that I share with you today throughout the training to answer those questions and count that as a part of your attendance for the training. You also will need to obtain an 80% or better in order to pass this training. If you don't obtain that grade, that's totally fine. I will send you an email or send you a comment on your form to tell you to redo it again, but just be aware that there is a grade requirement. Because this is a pre-recorded video, you are obviously permitted to start, stop, rewind, and fast forward this form or this video at any time. You also can start and stop your form at any time that is available on Engage. So anything that you complete now, if you need to actually submit it at a later time, you can save that information and it will be saved within your profile. So let's go ahead and get started. As an overview, we are going to go over the definition of hazing. We'll talk about the overview of the Ohio State law. We'll recognize some different scenarios within hazing, talk about how to report hazing at Wright State, and talk about some next steps and expectations. Definition of hazing. So what is hazing? Hazing is defined as any act or situation which recklessly or intentionally endangers the mental, emotional, or physical health or safety of a student for the purpose of initiation or admission into any student organization or group. Hazing can occur if a member has to do an act that endangers the mental, emotional, or physical health or safety of the student to maintain membership or to gain an officer position. So it's not just limited to new groups of new members of the group. It can happen to anybody in the organization regardless of your position. Hazing can occur in any student organization. Hazing can happen also on and off campus, so you can be held liable for anything that happens off campus if it is reported. And it is still hazing even if the person says that they are willing to participate. So if you even know ahead of time what you have to do and you still consent to do that, the act of hazing is still hazing. That never goes away. So that's just some quick information there. Make sure that you've answered your questions there for what is hazing, but this is just some general overview information about the definition of it. Some hazing statistics. Let's give you some facts about this. So 22% of Americans indicate that they have been hazed. 47% of students come to college having experienced hazing. 55% of college students involved in clubs, teams, and organizations experience hazing. More than 250,000 athletes experienced some form of hazing to join a college athletic team, with 20% of those subjected to dangerous or potential illegal activity. 40% of college students who reported being involved in hating behaviors report that a coach or advisor was aware of the activity. 22% report that the coach was involved. 2 in 5 students say that they were aware of hazing taking place on their campus. More than 1 in 4 report that they have witnessed hazing personally. 36% of students say that they would not report hazing, primarily because there is no one to tell, and 27% feel that adults won't handle it right. So moving on to the overview of the Ohio State hazing law, which we also known as Collins Law. This was something that was signed into act in 2022, early 2022. And so this is an overview of what the Ohio State law says and what you can be held to in terms of a court of law. So hazing, according to the state law, means that doing any act or coercing another, including the victim, to do any act of initiation into any student or other organization, or any act to continue or reinstate membership in or affiliation with any student or other organization that causes or creates a substantial risk of causing mental or physical harm to any person, including coercing another to consume alcohol or a drug of abuse. No person shall recklessly participate in the hazing or another. A violation of this is a misdemeanor of the second degree. No administrator, employee, faculty member, teacher, consultant, alumnus, or volunteer of any organization shall recklessly permit the hazing of another person associated with the organization. No person shall recklessly participate in the hazing of another when the hazing includes coerced corruption of alcohol or drugs of abuse resulting in serious physical harm to the other person. Violation of this is a felony of the third degree. No administrator, employee, faculty member, teacher, consultant, alumnus, or volunteer shall recklessly fail to immediately report the knowledge of hazing to a law enforcement agency in the county in which the victim of hazing resides or in which the hazing has occurred. Violation of this is a misdemeanor of the fourth degree and a first degree if it causes physical harm. Let's talk about recognizing hazing. So these are going to be some different scenarios that you'll see there on your engaged form. So situation number 1, your organization is holding a weekly meeting. At the meeting, the president requires the new members to recite the mission and purpose of your organization while the rest of the organization is silent. Is this hazing? Situation number 2, on Friday night, 3 members of your organization are blindfolded and put into a car. They are taken to an unknown location. The driver gets the members out of the car, then the blindfolds are removed. The members are required to get back to campus within 1 hour. Is this hazing? In situation number 3, the organization is hosting an event at an off-campus location. When new members of the organization arrive to the party, they are given a bottle of alcohol that is duct taped to their hand. The members are ordered to drink the entire bottle of alcohol in 3 hours. Is this hazing? We're almost done here, so let's finish up with some reporting. So how can you report hazing at Wright State? There are a variety of ways. One of the ways that you can report includes going online to www.wright.edu/hazing. There'll be a button in the middle of the screen there for you to fill out the paperwork to report an act of hazing. And that entire website will give you a lot more information about hazing and what the requirements are and what the process is and just everything that you might need to know. So know that website is available to you at any time, but that is one way that you can report hazing. Another way that you can report hazing is to call the Office of Community Standards and Student Conduct and speak to one of the staff members to talk about an act of hazing. Their phone number is 937-775-4240. So if you want to put that phone number in your contacts, I would encourage you to do so. And lastly, if you need to report a dangerous instance of hazing currently underway or something that is anticipated to occur, you can always contact the Public Safety Department of Wright State and talk to an officer there. Their phone number is 937-775-2111. So those are the different ways that you can report hazing. And lastly, let's talk about next steps and expectations. So this process of having the new the Ohio State law, Collins law, and having a requirement under university policy, this is something that's been going on for the past year. If you have already completed your hazing training through the university website and have been in contact with Gina Kuchar about this hazing training, you are good to go. But please know that all students that are enrolled at Wright State University are required by the university policy to complete the anti-hazing training prior to joining a student organization. New members are also required to complete the training before they can be officially accepted into the organization. And I'll explain that a little bit more on the next slide about some of those steps. But just know that every student in your organization, whether they're returning or whether they're brand new, they are required to complete that training with the university. Additionally, all faculty and staff advisors at Wright State University are required by the university policy to also complete the anti-hazing training. So there is a student training, and then there's also a faculty and staff training. So they'll have to obviously complete the faculty and staff, where students complete the student-specific training. Additionally, all volunteers, coaches, co-advisors, off-campus advisors, anybody who is a additional support system to your organization, they are also required to complete the anti-hazing training by university policy. Okay, so just be aware of those three levels. Anybody who's involved in your organization, staff, advisors, volunteers, anybody who's involved in the mission and purpose and helping your organization and helping you to be successful, they're required to complete the anti-hazing training via the university. So the expectations, so before moving forward and accepting those new members into your organization, you must verify that the students have completed the training. What you can do is send a list of the new or potential members to Gina Kuchar. Her email is gina.kuchar@wright.edu. It's right there on your screen in case you need to write that down or take a screenshot of it. And you can send that list to them with the name of the student and then also their UID. Gina will then take that information, verify the potential or new members that they've completed the training within 2 business days. So just know that there's a quick turnaround for that. If they haven't completed it, she will be in touch with them to complete the trainings and get that information out to them. And additionally, we will be asking you to add a section to your constitution prohibiting hazing within your organization. We do have some examples available on a Constitution template, and we will also be sending out more information to you throughout the academic year, so just be on the lookout for that. All right, well, that wraps up our Raiders Don't Haze training. So I want to thank you for your time and participation in this training. If you have questions about the specific SORT process, you can always send me an email at sort@wright.edu or courtney.laukitis@wright.edu. If you have questions or concerns about the hazing law or the policy and making sure that everybody has completed their trainings, you can direct those questions to Gina Kuchar, and her email is gina.kuchar@wright.edu. Thank you so much for your participation, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.